Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today I'm going to tie, this is going to be more of a Hendrickson, but this is going to be a sandy dun. Hendrickson uses blue dun, hackle, and tail, but on this I'm going to use a sandy dun, hackle, and tail. The hook that I have in the vise is the Lively Legs Lip Splitter 305 number 14, and is a barbless hook, and it's a standard dry fly hook. Very nice, very sharp hooks. Thing I really like about the barbless flies is when I get the fish in the net, the hook basically just falls right out. Now the materials we're going to use wood duck flank feathers, or imitation wood duck flank. Going to use this. I'm going to actually make this a parachute, and you could use a flank feather to make your parachute posts. I have a sandy dun hackle here, and the tail, you take the very large ones from the top and you use those barbels for the tail. And then of course I have a hackle that is of proper size, and I'm also going to use for the body, this is either a golden or an Amherst Pheasant Tail. It's very soft, it has beautiful moltings in there, and you'll see when I put it on the beautiful molting in there. Okay, and the thread I'm going to use, I don't have any tan thread left, so when I get to the point where I have to tie the head, I'm just going to use this marker, and there it is, desert tan, and I'm going to just color the thread there a little bit. So we're going to get started here, and we're going to put the thread on, and we're going to come back halfway, and then we're going to come forward half of that, and that is where we're going to put our wing. Bring that in there a little bit. Now I'm going to take my flank feather, and of course I'm going to remove this just because it's going to all get in the way. But you could go ahead and squeeze these together, and then you'll have a better idea of where you want to pull them off. And now they're pretty even. There's a couple little that are slightly shorter, but that's fine. We're going to go ahead and just gather this all together. And we want that wing to be about the length of the shank. I'm going to go ahead and secure that nicely right there with a couple of loose loops and tight pull. And we're going to bring that back a few wraps and trim off the excess. And we're just going to leave that right there right now. We're not going to stand that up till we get back up that area. I always turn my vise so I can see the point. Back that up a little bit. I went a little too far there. Now here's my tail hackle, and we're going to find the ones that don't have that much web in it, which is going to be up here. We want the long stiff ones. I'm going to go ahead and actually just going to cut this off, cut this back section off. We could even stand those up. Makes it easier to grab them. And here we have a lot of stiff ones on this section here, you can see. So I'm going to grab a bunch of them. You just grab them and hold them together by the tips there, and you'll see that on the bottom they don't look quite even, but that's okay. We're going to size that up, and I'm going to trim this before I tie it in. And we're going to go ahead and tie this in. I'm holding it a little bit to my side, and they should end up right on top. And there we go. We get a nice stiff tail there. I'm going to come back because I wasn't at the very back, and put a wrap underneath the tail, and that'll hold it right out there straight. And I didn't trim them quite close enough. Now I'm going to take the pheasant tail, and I'm just going to take a small section and I'm going to tie these in by the tip. Now that I'm up here, I can stand them up. Just put wraps right in front just to hold them up. Nope. Looks like I grabbed a couple there. Come back on them a couple more times. There we go. That will get straighter when I put the hackle in it. Now I'm going to take the pheasant tail and I'm going to wind that. You can see that nice pattern there. I'm going to bring that in front of the wing. This will actually help hold the wing up there a little bit better. And we're going to tie that in. Grab that and tighten that up. There we go. And then we could trim this off. Always push your thread away with your finger. See how nicely that poke and snip cuticle trimmer works. Give it a couple more wraps there. There we go. I'm actually going to color my thread now, and I'm going to put the head on because I tie them off to the wing post. Go ahead and turn this head tan. Now I've got my hackle, and I'm going to prepare this, give it the crew cut, and you're watching. You want the section that has less than 1/3 web on the barbels. I'm going to tie this in. And when we get to the post, now we're going to wrap it, and you want to wrap it down tight. You want to start it, getting it down close to the shank, and then you work your way up, and you won't have any problem with slipping, because your you're stiffening that up really well. Now, since I got thread all in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of dubbing. And for that dubbing, I'm going to use Red Fox, the Red Fox belly hair. Oop, got way too much here. And now we're just going to kind of do a little bit of an around the wing post there. And then we're going to finish on the wing post. And we're going to hold that there so the head is already in place. Now we take the hackle. First thing I do is I fold it down. Don't pull too hard, but you want to bend it. And that's going to help you to wrap that. And we're going to put maybe 4 or 5 wraps on there, right around that wing post. And then make sure you get your thread underneath those hackles, or else you'll tie them down. And I'm going to put one right on the opposite side. There we go. 1 or 2 or 3. Then we can trim off our excess hackle. Now we're going to take our whip finish. We're going to bring that X up underneath the hackle barbels, and then make sure you see how I'm pushing that down or around or underneath those hackles. Now I'm going to take my head cement before I pull it tight, and I'm going to put the head cement on the left side of that whip finish loop, and then when you pull it, that glue is going to go up first. And if for some reason you're pulling and the right side is going up first, then you'll know on the next one to put it on the right side. Then we're going to just trim that off. And here we have a sandy done. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Let them know I sent you. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. If you'd like to purchase any flies that I make, go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And if you don't see it on the page, just send me a message and we'll figure out what you want, and we'll go from there. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.